Hello. Today I will be giving you a third update to my Headless Vaal Spark character that I have been min-maxing for roughly a year and a half or so. I believe I've gotten it to the point at which I can almost definitively say that it is the best clear speed build in the game, as I am now running at 500 movement speed while mapping, or 535 movement speed while mapping, as I will get to in a sec. But there are some changes to the build that I've made from my previous video that I go over now. So I do want to give a shout out to a smaller content creator that has been also min-maxing this build, at least in a little bit different sense, and that is Sparkling. He has created two mirror items that I'm currently using, and also he is min-maxing it to be a more well-rounded build in that he is getting a lot more damage, where I am mainly focusing now on quantity and movement speed. But if you're looking to do, I don't know, 100% Deli T17 maps while using Valspark, I would suggest this route. But if you're looking to do 45-second T16 maps, I would go my route. But yep, shoutouts to him, and you can mirror his gear if you like what you see on screen. So I'm using his crafted bow and his crafted quiver. This is giving me a decent amount of damage so that I can now invest into quantity and movement speed. And how I am doing that is I purchased a level 5 Enlighten, which is allowing me to run haste all the time, along with allocating 2 medium clusters, legacy aura clusters, which is giving me a lot of mana reservation, which is again is allowing me to run haste all the time, and also I can run Vaal haste all the time because since I am a Vaal spark character, um, Vaal haste doesn't have a cooldown because it doesn't have soul gain prevention. So every 6 seconds, I can use Vaal haste and I can gain those souls within that 6 seconds. So my actual movement speed is 535, as I will show in a sec. And on top of that, I am also running Flesh and Stone because of my aura reservation, which is just making me in general tankier. Because I don't really need that much more damage, since I'm running T16s or 16.5s with only 20% deli. I don't need more than roughly 100 million, roughly 100 million DPS. So Flesh and Stone is a good preventative measure for if I potentially would die, which I don't die anyway, but whatever. I have enough reservation to run it anyway. It makes the POB look better. So, speaking of POB, I will pull it up. So, as you can see, I am running at 500 movement speed. This is with 1,000 rampage kills. The reason I put it at 1,000 is because when I'm doing my 1 minute maps, I'm killing roughly 1,000 mobs. I'm roughly killing 4,000-ish mobs. And then last patch, when Breach was the meta, I was killing, 6 to 8,000 mobs every minute and a half or something like that. So I am pretty much always at 1,000 rampage kills after the first 15 seconds of a map. So, but if you don't want that, I do technically run at 439 movement speed. But yeah, we'll just keep that at 1,000 because again, the uptime of 1,000 is 90% or so while mapping. And when I was talking about Vaal haste, you can permanently keep this up if you press Vaal haste every 6 seconds. So technically, I do run at 535 movement speed, which is very, very fast. And this is different than 535 movement speed of other characters because since Vaal Spark, you use it and I don't have to cast it again, so I'm killing mobs while moving. This is different than a bow character having 535 movement speed because you do have to attack, and when you attack, you don't move. That is different than Vaal Spark because even though I am casting like occasionally, like oh I cast there, so I need to stop. In between me moving, like my projectiles are still shooting out. So I would argue you would have to get 600, 650 movement speed on a bow character to be equivalently as fast as I am, which good luck with that. Having over 100 million DPS on a bow character with 600 movement speed, good luck with that. I'm not saying it potentially doesn't exist, but yeah, Vaal Spark is a pretty good clear skill. Uh, if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see a lot of videos of evidence of that. So on top of running Haste and Vaal Haste, another thing that I'm doing is I am running a Forbidden Flesh and Flame so that I can allocate Gathering Winds so that I have Tailwind, which makes me run faster, and increased effective Tailwind, which makes me run faster. So this is giving me 78% movement speed, which is why I run so fast. And I am reducing my damage and tankiness by running Gathering Winds. If I wanted more damage, I am in a Dorn setup, so I could run Jules something like this, like or attacking cast speed for the implicit, or having crit multi on lightning spells. So I could get more damage or more tankiness, but again, since I'm doing T16 and T16.5 maps, I don't pretty much ever die. Maybe like 1 in 100 maps when I don't know, reading a altar or something like that, I might die. But yeah, it's all about speed and quantity. So since speed is covered, I will now talk about quantity. And unfortunately, this is probably something that you guys won't be able to do, but since I'm here, I guess I'll flex on you. So I did end up purchasing this amulet, and this amulet is pretty good. So it's a simplex that has legacy quant on it, and then it is reflected for the maximum value of 84. This is pretty good. This is giving me a lot of loot, and some of you observant viewers might say, oh, well, it has 100% reduced rarity on that. Isn't that bad? Now you're not going to drop any uniques. Well, actually, that was what I was going for. So, a few months ago, I produced a video which talked about negative rarity, and how uniques work is that when a unique drops, it takes the place of every other item that potentially could drop. And since I'm running the maps that I run in whatever 45 seconds or a minute, I have an extremely strict filter. Including hiding mage bloods and headhunters, because when I'm running around, a lot of the kills that I do are behind me because I'm always moving forward, but yet my spiders or sparks will be killing mobs bouncing off the walls behind me. And so, do I realistically want to backtrack, hover over a heavy belt, and see if it's a mage blood? Mathematically, I did the math. It's not worth it for me to do that. So um, even though I cannot drop uniques now, realistically, I was only showing like 10 of them on my filter, and the only ones that actually have value are T0s because you can disenchant them. So let's say, for argument's sake, I make roughly 150 divines an hour through general mapping. Typically, that is focused on currency drops or scarab drops or map drops or divination card drops. Uh, of that 150 divines, I potentially am losing out on 3 to 4 divines by not being dropping uniques, but uh, in the in their place is dropping more, again, divines, exalts, mirrors, blocks, whatever. So uh, some people see this number as reduced. It's not actually reduced, in my opinion. So I currently have on this character 190 quantity, but this reduced rarity is actually a quantity multiplier on top of the quantity that I already have. So currently I have 190 quantity on my character. I can show that to you. It is right here. And this negative 100 rarity, I've tried to do the math. It depends on what type of mob you kill, whether it's a white mob, a rare mob, or a magic mob. But this negative rarity, in my opinion, is giving me roughly 4 to 5% more loot on top of the quantity. So this is multiplicative. So in best case scenario, I have 200% quantity. So realistically, I would read this amulet as having 94% quantity on a single item, which spoiler, is pretty good. So yeah, there's my flex. It's pretty good. I run fast. I drop a lot of loot. That's basically how it goes. And I will show you how that looks. Here is a mapping strategy that, in my opinion, is one of the best mapping strategies for this patch. And it is very similar to other mapping strategies I've done previously. Basically, you go into the map, you look for a bismuth. If you don't have a bismuth, you kill all the mobs in whatever 45 seconds, and then you run out of the map. So we will search for a bismuth. Here's the bismuth. I click the bismuth, and then I kill mobs. But first I lag because I'm recording, and I'm killing 1,000 mobs already. And then I am running at 500 movement speed. I'm not clicking Vaal haste because I'm lazy. I'll click Vaal haste just to show that I can do 100% time. Oh, well, I have a map modifier that makes buffs last way less, so maybe not for this map. But talking and mapping at the same time, not the best thing. I don't know if I fully cleared this map. It's good enough. We'll kill the boss. We'll run out of the map. So, as you can see, I killed 3,000 mobs. And you can see my other previous videos where I map really fast. And so that is the update to the build. Hopefully I convince you that is a pretty good build and that you should sell off other lesser builds like Instack Wander or Tornado Shot or other mapping builds that are not as fast as this. So, hope you enjoyed. Peace.